Good evening. Welcome to tonight's Mayor and City Council work session for Wednesday, June 5th. The time is now 6 p.m. and I will call this meeting to order. Our only agenda item tonight is resolution number 3-2024, a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of Laurel, Maryland, for the purpose of approving an agreement between the City of Laurel and the United Food and Commercial Workers, Local 1994, City Administrator Christian Kole, you have the floor.
Thank you and good evening, Mr. President, Mayor, and members of the council. Before you tonight is a resolution number 3-2024, a resolution to approve a 3-year agreement between the City of Laurel and the United Food and Commercial Workers, Local 1994. During the negotiation process, the city was represented by Jackson Lewis, PC, Mr. John Berry, and Mr. John Kilker of UFCW represented employees of the Department of Public Works Bargaining Unit. A notice of demand by the union to commence negotiations for the city's first agreement between parties was received on November 13th, 2023. There were a total of 7 in-person bargaining sessions held between the parties, held on December 14th, 2023, on January 11th, 18th, and 25th of this year, as well as February 1st, 18th, and 15th. The parties agreed on all non-economic language to be included in the first CBA on February 1st, 2024. Additional bargaining sessions were held to try and agree on economic proposals. However, the parties were not able to come to an agreement. Therefore, impasse was declared. An impasse hearing was held by the council on April 1st to hear presentations on disputed economic proposals by the parties and decide if they would find in favor of the employer at a 5% total wage increase or the union's proposed 9.5 total wage increase. The City Council voted to approve the employer's proposal of a 5% total wage increase. The mayor concurred with the decision of the council. Some other benefits included within the agreements for members of the bargaining unit include temporary assignments, accrue leave additional pay, on-call additional pay, call-in additional pay, additional uniforms for staff. Union stewards will be granted 8 hours of administrative leave for steward training conducted by the union, an establishment of a labor management relations committee where we will meet 3 times a year or once per quarter. And on April 18th, 2024, the union held its ratification meeting and 18 employees of the bargaining unit was present and all voted to accept the agreement. The agreement will be in effect from July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2027. I would like to thank the employees of the bargaining unit, Mr. Berry, Mr. Kilker, our attorneys and staff who represented the city's bargaining team during negotiations for their time and effort and commitment to this matter. And I would also like to state the administration and DPW's management team is ready to have a great working relationship with UCFW and adhere to all articles within the agreement. And finally, I would like to report that over the course of the year, there have been 9 promotions for employees within the Department of Public Works. That concludes my presentation, Mr. President.
Thank you, Madam City Administrator. Mr. Mayor, do you have any additional comments?
Just want to echo everything City Administrator said. It's been a long process. We got it done, and now it's come down to the final vote on Monday, where I'm very confident that the City Council is going to pass this resolution. But I do want to add some administration things here. If you look on the back page of the contract, the union contract, on page 19, if you guys have that present, we got electronic signature by President of the union, Gino Reno, but I believe that we need to have him in person to sign a resolution in person. I think he signed it electronically. I don't think that's appropriate. We need to contact him as well, make sure someone, if he's not going to be there to sign the contract, I think Ms. Anderson can correct me that someone has to sign on his behalf. He's not going to be there.
I would think that you're talking in terms of signing the collective bargaining agreement?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, on page 19. Yes, the last page that we got to sign.
I think we need to have the person sign who is authorized to bind the union.
Okay. So I guess we need to, we said in our little meeting yesterday, we was going to reach out to his office and have him be present, you know, so if he's the final signature, then we need to make sure he's there. If he's not there, then how will we, I mean, just putting things in perspective, just in case some delays, how will we proceed?
Well, they need to make available either that person or someone who has authority to bind the union. So.
Okay.
They
But
need-
again, let's say if John Berry show up and John Berry's not authorized to sign it, what will we do then?
Well, we're not gonna have the person who can't sign, so we're gonna have to make sure that the union gets the right person there.
Okay, just want to be clear that they send someone they're authorized to sign. That's all.
Correct.
So, yeah, I knew the answer, but I just wanted, make sure that.
Yeah, no, we'll make
Let them
sure
know.
that they have the right person there. That's nothing special in terms, you're not treating them any differently than you would regarding any other transaction. You have to have the proper individual sign on behalf of the entity.
All right, well, we'll work through those, make sure that happen now. Like I said before, it's a great job on administration part. Like you said before, this has been a long process, but this is the right process. The council did a great job, brought an impasse hearing, doing the best interest for the city with the 5%, great job. And like I said, we're looking forward to the meeting on Monday. I think the council president is going to suspend the rules on Monday, but we can have this resolution officially signed.
Thank you,
That's all I have,
Mr.
Mr. President. Thank you, sir.
So I just want to be clear on resolution number 3-2024. The contract cannot be executed until the council approves the resolution, because the resolution is what contains the authorization for the mayor to sign.
Correct. We need to, the resolution approves the CBA and authorizes the mayor to sign. Correct.
My only additional thing, the mayor hinted at it, we do have only one in-person meeting in the month of June because we will all be at Maryland Municipal League Summer Conference. So I would be asking if council would be entertaining suspending the rules on this resolution so that we can approve this and sign it on Monday. Are there any other comments or questions from the council?
I have a question regarding the resolution, correct, Mr. President?
Correct. Go ahead, Ms. Clark.
I noticed on page 10, I listened to the residents at the previous meetings, and I noticed on page 10 that it states the employees can turn in their uniforms and boots in order to obtain replacements. Is that correct? I know that that was a question that a lot of residents have had in regards to something that was requested either by the union reps or someone, but I overheard someone saying that, and I just wanted to confirm that the employees do have the option to turn in, as long as they turn in their uniform, whether it's boots or their uniform, they're able to get replacements so that they can be safe, correct?
That is correct. Staff will be able to receive new uniforms and additional boots once they turn in the materials. And also, I would just like to say there was a comment made regarding gloves. Staff has provided top grade gloves that protect them for cuts and anything.
Thank you. That was my next question.
Any other questions or comments from the council on resolution number 3-2024? Mr. Mills?
Yes, I have one question. Talking in reference to the uniforms. So Director Pulley, what do you mean by like turning in? Like when a pair of boots, if they want a pair of boots, they have to turn in a pair of boots, or is it a specific time that they receive these new uniforms?
So for the boots, like say for instance, they receive steel toe boots. If they're like worn down or they're not appropriate anymore, they will turn in those pair of boots to their store, to the shop, and then they will receive a new pair of boots. Of course, they'll have to order them or whatever may take place. But also with additional uniforms, certain people will receive 3 additional uniforms. Staff members will receive 3 additional sets of uniforms after the probationary period, and then like the mechanics and stuff like that will receive 2 additional pair of uniforms if need be. There's materials down there, heavy grade laundry for them to launder their uniforms if they choose to on site, if they did not want to do it at home as well.
Director Saylor, you have a comment?
Thank you, Mr. President. Also, Mr. Mills, I just wanted to add, Ms. Kole, that the management at Public Works arranges for a vendor to come on site for the orders for the boots to be made at least once a year. But should they need an additional pair, if they notice the wear and tear is too much, because we already paid for that one pair, is additionally why we need that pair to come back in, just for, verification that another pair of boots is needed. For a number of years, they only received one pair of boots from one fiscal year to the next, but they've made these arrangements now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Additional questions from the council?
I have one additional question. I looked through the documentation and I might have missed it, but I didn't see if there was a process, protocol, or step for the employees to understand how they can receive promotional opportunities. I know that has been one concern as well. And I was wondering if you could possibly share that or explain, or either share that information with me. I'm curious just to understand it a little bit more, because I know that has been something that was brought up.
So on page 12, under Article 17, seniority, Section 3A, promotion outlines that process. However, when a promotion or a job opportunity, if someone is open or available, if someone wants to apply in-house, they would just submit their application to HR and go through the process that way.
Perfect. Thank you.
City Administrator, just to follow up on that, all the employees have email addresses now. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
Okay, and then announcements that's posted in DPW, are they posted physically in the break room as well?
Usually,
Excuse me, sorry. We post them publicly on our bulletin board, and we also post, we send out emails periodically as soon as they come out.
Right. So I just want to, notify Councilman Clark, that's the way they notify the jobs as well. Through email and also in the bulletin board in the break room. Physical copy posted in the break room and emails to each employee. They checked it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
One last question, Mr. President.
Go ahead, Mr. Mills.
So the process of moving this process forward, is that going to be today, or are we doing that next Monday?
So we cannot vote in a work session. We can only vote after there's time for public hearing. This will move to the next meeting on June 10th at 6 p.m. in person in the council chambers with possible action. We'll hold public hearing on this resolution, and then we'll decide if we are willing to move forward or if it would need to have a second public hearing. But if we did want to vote on Monday, we will need to suspend the rules.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Additional questions?
Can I add something to that as well, Mr. President? And the reason, Mr. Mills, like Council President stated earlier, that we be going in work session, we be going to MML. We want the contract to go into effect July 1st, the new budget. The new budget starts July 1st. And so we want to have this contract ratified on July 1st so they can have the 3-year commitment that we agreed to. And so, and we already passed the impasse hearing. You was there, and and the contract been ratified by the employees. Once we did impasse, UFCW took this contract down to the shop and explained the whole contract to the employees, and they agreed to it. Like I said in the resolution, 18 employees agreed to the contract. They're satisfied with everything in the contract from the first page of the thing to the last paragraph. They all agreed to it. Now it's just to us, to preliminaries, really preliminaries, but you still can, have your vote on what you need, but it's pretty much almost, I just leave it like that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Any final questions on resolution number 3-2024?
Sorry, I have one more.
Please go ahead. That's what we're here
If
for.
possible, can you please reconfirm where residents would be able to read this or to understand if they have any questions regarding the DPW contract or this resolution? I think sometimes I like to help residents to understand where they can find these. So if you could remind, that would be really wonderful.
Sure, no problem. So as of right now, the information should be up under the council's office website. But once the contract is approved, it will go up under DPW's website, similar to how the police has theirs on their website.
Thank
you. Thank you. Any final questions? Hearing none, we will move resolution number 3-2024 to the council meeting on June 10th at 6 p.m. in the council chambers with possible action. With no further business before the mayor and city council at tonight's work session, this meeting is adjourned.
Good night, everybody. Thank you very much.